Señores, you remember where is the beginning of the Inca Empire? Cusco, no, which means the navel, the center of the world. From there they start to expand it for the four cardinal points. The name of the Inca land calls by them Tahuantinsuyo, which means the four quarters of the four cardinal points. This is one important main gate located in the north area of Cusco. Yeah? Cusco is located in that direction, but this is one of the main gates before to being Machu Picchu or before to being another valley. And also this is one important site because it's located between three valleys, the end of the Sacred Valley, Patacancha Valley and the Machu Picchu Valley. Which is the importance of this place? What does mean Tambo? Yesterday you been at Tambo Machai. What does mean Tambo? Resting place. They was take a holidays, they got a rest. Now they have the urban area for the builders, workers, farmers. But all of this section, all of this area, use those terraces for farming to produce a few kind of crops. Which kind of crops? In that particular case, they planting a few kind of flowers. And then up there, in the top, you see the finest work, used by them like a temple. Which is the name of this temple? The Temple of the Sun. Always, the Temple of the Sun associated to the Temple of the Water. In these houses, no, the square houses, it is the Temple of the Water. No, they take one spiritual bath before to being up there. No, but here you see very clever, three times or three periods. The first one, this one, less fineness, less quality. They use the small slide stone with mud and mortar. Call this style pircado, not pircado. And the middle one, the finest work, they don't use any plaster or any mortar, the finest work, just for the religion purpose. And the latest periods. And also around here they have many pieces of rock left on the way by Incas. He never finished to move all of these pieces of rock. Why? Because our civil war began between our last Inca kings, Huáscar and Atahualpa. And also the conquistador arriving. That is the reason the workers left the piece of rock on the way. He never finished to carry, he never finished to move that piece of rock to the upper part. Because also in the upper part they have one important Inca temple, the Temple of the Sun. They have a few pieces of rock on the way, but he never finished to make it the important Inca temple, the Temple of the Sun. Yeah? And also that place was located between two rivers. One river is coming from the upper part called Patacancha River, and the another one called Urubamba River. Make like a natural defense. And then up there you see a few houses. That is our granaries or the storehouses, the storage. No? Use it to save a few kind of crops. Which kind of crops? The dry potatoes and the salty meat. The name of this storage called colcas. Colcas, that is the Quechua's name. No? They have a big windows, big door to keep in dry all the crops, to make the ventilation. How they brought the crops to there? They use one of them switchback paths to leave all the crops. I repeat, just the dry crops, dry potatoes and the salty meat. No? The name of these two kind of dry potatoes called chuño and moraya, and the salty meat called charqui, no, or the jerky beef, made by alpaca or the llama beef. Yeah?
Why did they build them way up there? Why did they...
Yeah, why?
Here is windy, there is more windy. No? To preserve, not to preserve all the crops, no? All the crops to preserve, no? And also they put some kind of herbs, no? To preserve all the crops. That is the reason make it in the upper part. And also to take care. If some people try to take all the crops, they repel the attack from the upper part, no? It is more like a logical. And then look at that kind of shape. You see? That is the face of the gut.
There's no
Over
roof,
there.
There's no roof over there.
Look at that. That is the shape of the gut. One of them important gut. Over there, near to the colcas, to the storehouses. You see?
Oh yeah.
The shape, the profile of the shape of the face. No, this is one of them gut. His name is Tunupa. Tunupa gut. He was our creator over there. Now it's with the shadow. But the name of this high peak is called Pincuiluna. But behind that mountain they had many terraces. I repeat, the Inca people start to make it our Inca terraces, or the famous andenes, to produce all the kind of crops. But each terrace is divided by them in 3 levels. The first level they put the topsoil, the second one gravel, and the last one clay. No? They was making that kind of things. This is one experimental agriculture area, like a circular shape, but in each terrace they produce a different kind of crops. Remember why? Our empire expanded from the 100 feet, no, until 15,500 feet. That is the reason they need to produce different kind of crops. He domesticated a few kind of crops. No? I was talking about 500 years ago he started using the genetics. He's a very smart people, good farmers people. He domesticated. For that reason, use that experimental agriculture area. They have it another one, another experimental agriculture area in of Machu Picchu. No? The farming is a very important thing. You remember the cave, the ceremonial cave. All of these places they have for make it by them for different purpose. I repeat, in the case of Ollantaytambo, use it just to make one a biggest control before to make Machu Picchu, before to be Machu Picchu. Why the Spanish never founded Machu Picchu? They arrived just until here. But in the case of the Ollantaytambo, he don't destroy it like at Cusco. They left in the natural shape. That is the reason the people still call this place like a unique Inca living town. Yeah? They are arriving to here, but he looking for the gold and silver. But they don't have any idea about the Machu Picchu area because it's a top secret place. Just a few people knows about the Machu Picchu, the Inca king and the relatives of him. No, that's the reason our scientific rediscovery. Hiram Bingham, 100 years ago, founded finally Machu Picchu. Yeah? Maybe around here they had more Inca places to found it. They need to found it. For example, behind this mountain they have more Inca terraces. They have one of the highest community called Hueloc Patacancha. No? It is a very important area, no very important site. And also, I tell you, the Incas people use a lot shadows just to know about the seasons. Over there they have one of them shaped like a piece of rock. No? They have the protuberance, they make the projection of the shadows. According of these shadows, he knows which kind of season is coming from them. Yeah? And also over there they have one of them ritual bath, no, the princess bath. They have the shape like this, the curved wall. No, that's kind of a carving shape. Yeah? Okay, my friends. Now I was give you your free time. Maybe some of you like to exploring going up. Yeah? Some of you?
How long?
Take about 15 minutes up and 15 minutes down. Half an hour. I give you half an hour. Meeting point here, please.
Okay.
Over here, meeting point.